Well, after all that chisel plowing last night, I got some mud in my roller. So I'm out here with the bar trying to chip it all out so it'll actually do its job. All right, welcome out to another beautiful day. One of the final days. I think we might only have today and tomorrow of harvest left. Christopher's over here getting his harvester all filled up and serviced. Crossover's just over there. We're gonna be starting digging in about 30 minutes. Just Josh is getting that big pile of dirt right there hauled off, and I'm gonna go start chisel plowing. But I'm gonna chisel plow the field that's right next to the cellars, so hopefully I can stop and walk over and see what the potatoes look like. We're back on this field right here, which is, funny enough, it's some of our best ground, but because we put it into potatoes so often, it's some of our worst performing potato ground because it's tired. It just needs a break from potatoes. So after this year, we're gonna put it in wheat, and then we're gonna put it in hay for 4 years, 5 years, who knows, a while, to try and build it back up. It really needs a break from potatoes so we can get some good potatoes off of it in the future. But I'm gonna get going here. Oh, there's a big bump. I'm gonna get going here pretty quick. I have a lot of ground here that I can work up and cover. So what's funny is they dug this part of the field pretty early. Like, it was right after the first rainstorm that we did. But you see this little light green strip right there? That's wild oats. So we basically went through with the harvester and the crossover, dug up all the wild oats and stuff that were here, and it kind of tilled up the ground. And then we got some more rain. There's more wild oats coming up. So everywhere that it's kind of like dark green is new wild oats starting to grow. So we're gonna rip them up with this thing, and hopefully it'll kill a lot of these new wild oats that are growing. And then we're gonna plant this into fall wheat as soon as we're done, and they should outperform the wild oats, hopefully, fingers crossed. So let's get going. This is probably one of the worst spots in the field with wild oats, at least that we've dug. There's some pretty bad spots over there, but they haven't dug them yet. But look at the regrowth of these wild oats. But we'll take care of them with this thing. It'll just chew them all up, bury those plants, and they'll be dead. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less wild oats next year. Good deal. All right, well, I've done all the short rows on this side. I'm now to the back of the cellars, so I'm gonna just lift up and go straight to the other side. There we go, didn't even dig up the road. And I'll just go straight, and then I'll do all the short rows on this side. I don't even think I'll have to adjust the GPS. I think it'll miss everything. Nice. They're over here digging potatoes. I am catching them, but if I start to get close, I'll just switch to a different field. So I'm gonna put this down about now. There we go. Start working up the other side. I can always tell where there was a breakdown because there's a lot of potatoes on the ground. Usually when we break down belt ribs or something, it drops a ton of potatoes. I'm working up right where there was a ton of wild oats, and it looks great. All right, just got back to the shop. I am out of diesel. I also finished all the short rows down here too, so I'm gonna reset this. It was flashing, it's in the red on the diesel, so I wasn't completely out, but it has like 2 bars left, so it's about as out as I want to be. But let's fill it up, see how much it takes. I don't think I've ever had it this empty to know how much it actually takes when it's completely empty. So let's fill it all the way up, see how much it takes, and then we'll calculate how much that costs. All right, she's counting. We'll come back in about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes and see how much it has. It just clicked off. Since I only have one hand, I'm trying to film. I'm just gonna try and sit that there, hopefully it doesn't fall, and put my cap back on, because I have forgot to put the cap on before in another tractor and spilled diesel all over the place. So, all right, let's go see how much it took and how much it's gonna cost us every single day to run this tractor. Keep in mind, this is one of 3 tractors we are running right now, and we are also running 6 trucks and 2 eliminator trucks. Granted, they don't use a whole lot of fuel. 318 gallons. That is a lot of fuel, and that's just one tractor. And this tractor, there are tractors that have bigger fuel tanks than this one. But I did the math. That's our current price of fuel, $3.59 here in Shelley, 318 gallons. It costs us $1,141 to run this tractor for one day. I fill this up every day. At the beginning of the day, it's full. At the end of the day, after running from 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 or 9 at night for 12 hours, drains that whole tank. Over $1,000 a day to run this tractor. Farming's expensive, guys. It is insane how expensive it is to farm. I mean, just to buy this tractor, granted, we buy almost everything used. We only buy a couple implements. We buy our Lemken implements new because they're so good you can't find used ones. Like, nobody sells them. So we have to buy those new. But all of our tractors, all of our harvesting equipment, our cellar equipment we did actually buy new because you also can't find cellar equipment used. Like, very rarely can you find used cellar equipment. But this tractor we bought used, but new, this tractor would be like $600,000 or $700,000. And then you have to spend $1,100 a day just to run it. It's crazy. Now, before I head out to the field, I figure we'll walk over and see how the taters are doing. I feel bad because you guys came here for potato harvest and you're getting mostly chisel plowing. So I'm trying to give you as much potato stuff as I can give you. Last year I was in the harvester a couple hours every day because Christopher needed to trade it off. He was coaching a football team. This year he's not doing that, so he's been in the harvester all day. So I had to trade him off, which means you haven't got much harvester footage, just what Christopher films. But just got a truck unloaded here. Bin's about half full. Let's go back here and see how they look. Now we're back to Norkotas. This is the last little patch of Norkotas. And all of our test digs showed these were gonna be pretty small. And it looks like they're in the wild oat patch. So there is a lot of weeds. So, looks like they're not running too slow though. But I mean, as far as how the potatoes look, they look really good. There's just a lot of little ones. And I know everybody says that's all they can find in the store is little ones. There's one thing with potatoes. There's a lot of varieties of potatoes. I don't know, maybe the little ones you guys are finding in the stores are not Norkotas. There are some varieties of potatoes that's all they want are the little ones. So, I don't know. These are Norkotas. For the most part, they don't want anything under, like this would be way too small. In fact, this might be too small for even a processor to take and make potato flake out of. Kind of crazy. But we are toying with the idea of starting our own little packaging business where we package up all the eliminators into little bags and try and sell them. I don't know what that would all entail or how hard it would be or permits or anything. I have done literally no research, just an idea in my head. Maybe one day we'll do that. We can't right now because the last 2 years of potato harvest, well, all the rotten potatoes were because the processor didn't even, for the first, actually, all of the potatoes that were taken out of our cellars this year, all of them by the processor, we have not been paid one dime. They subcontracted to another processing plant, and that plant came and took some and paid us, but that wasn't the plant we contracted the potatoes through. The plant we contracted through took all the potatoes out. We have not seen a dime from them. So that's like $3 to $4 million that we are owed, that we are paying interest on through our operating loan, that we can't pay back because they haven't paid us. Like, we've seen nothing from any of our potatoes. From last year's potatoes, well, I guess that was from 2 years ago's potatoes, it took them over a year to finally pay us. Like, we got paid just this year from 2 years ago's potatoes. Like, there's a reason we left that processor and we will not be going back. They won't freaking pay you. Right now, we're still trying to get paid. They owe us like $5 million, which will all go to operating loan. I know $5 million sounds like a ton of money, and it is, but none of it will be kept here. All of that money will go to an operating loan that's 2 years old that we're still waiting to pay off, that we're still being charged interest on, and they're not getting charged interest because they're late on their payments. Oh, these little potatoes like to roll on you. But yeah, so we're still trying to get paid for the potatoes that they took out months and months and months and months ago. It's freaking stupid. Farmers always get the shaft. Anybody who thinks farmers are just these big rich companies that have millions of dollars. Well, we have millions of dollars in debt. Right now we have 2 operating loans because the operating loan we were running on that we were supposed to pay back, they never paid us, so we weren't able to pay that back. And now we had to get another operating loan for this year. So we have 2 operating loans to pay off. Both of them are like multi-million-dollar loans. So it's like, yeah, if we can't get paid, we'll be bankrupt. So yeah, it's all smiles here. And I know that I just kind of laugh it off because it's like, well, there really isn't a whole lot we can do about it aside from suing them. So yeah, farming is stressful. You don't get paid, and when you do get paid, you lose a whole bunch of interest, and you have a whole bunch of tear, and then the amount you get paid is so little that you can barely break even. It's freaking stupid. Farming is hard. If you don't want to be stressed, don't farm. It's very stressful. But at least the potatoes look good. Like, look at that one. That potato right there just makes me happy. Makes me happy, puts a smile on my face that we grew some good potatoes. Hopefully you guys can get some of these. We won't make anything off of them. Right now the potato market is less than break even, so we'll be giving these away for a loss. We'll be selling them at a loss, essentially. But I hope you guys enjoy these whenever you do get them, if you do get them. It's a bummer is that half of the potato is still good, but we can't sell that, so out it goes. Yeah, harvest is almost over. We're all tired. We're running on we've ran till midnight almost midnight the last couple nights, and we're all running on just a few hours of sleep. So it's, I'm a little bit loopy. I'm losing my mind. Taters look good though. Now we're hoping, we kind of guessed that we had, at the beginning of the day today, we guessed we had about 140 acres left of potatoes, which is about 2 days. They've been doing about between 70 and 90 acres a day, depending on the soil conditions and just how big the yield is. If there's high yield and they have to wait for trucks, it takes a little longer. But we figured we'd had 140 acres this morning, which would take today and tomorrow to finish. So we're getting near the end. The potatoes are looking good. The pile's nice and big. Not as tall as we usually do, which is good because they're fresh. We don't want to bruise them. And as soon as this is done, we're gonna be planting wheat, trying to figure out what to do with our hay. We still have hay that is down or cut or something. We don't know what we're doing with it yet. Haven't decided. We have to haul manure and do a ton of field work. So, still a lot of work left to go before winter comes and we can all kind of take a breath. Hopefully we'll get paid soon. You know, farming is one of the only industries that you don't get to tell people how much your product, your crop, you don't get to tell people how much they got to pay for it. Nope, you get told how much they are willing to pay for your crop. And if you don't like it, then you just keep it and you just take a loss. It's crazy. The people who feed us, make sure we don't die, make sure we have enough food to feed everybody, are the ones who don't get to tell everybody how much their crop's worth. We just get told how much it's worth by other people who've never farmed before, which is crazy. It's a lot of work to not have any clue what your crop's gonna be worth at the end of the day. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep running this thing because we have a lot of ground to cover. I have 900 acres that I have to work up because we're gonna be planting grain next week. Hey, sorry if any of that sounded depressing. I mean, it's farming. It is what it is. I'm currently out here. I'm not doing this whole field right now. I just need to work up a spot that they can move these wheel lines to. And then, so there's a whole bunch of wheel lines in this field. This is a new field we'll be running for the first time next year. And I got to work up next to it has a whole bunch of wheel lines. So I got to work up next to all of them so they can move them, so then I can come back and work up the rest of it. And then we'll plant fall wheat in this in like a week. All right, well, sun's going down, still going. I have switched fields. So I'm now in the potato field. The other field is actually just right there. One of our full-time guys is over here. He is moving the wheel lines out of the way where I worked up so they could have a spot to go, then I could work the rest of the field. So he's getting all those moved, and then probably tomorrow I'll go over there and work that field up. But I also have to finish this field too. I think this pivot is still stuck. It got stuck when they were digging, but it wasn't in the way, so we just left it. Now, if it dried up over there, it would not be stuck. It'd be able to get out, but I bet it's still stuck. So probably gonna have to pull that out at some point whenever I get over there. Pull it out, work it up, maybe work up right next to it so we'll have some good solid dirt to get onto. And but yeah, that won't be today. That'll probably be tomorrow or the next day or something. But for now, I'm just gonna keep working up this potato field. Okay, I did not get the field done. I didn't even get half done. This field's 140 acres and I can only do like 90 acres a day, maybe. So I am on my way back to the cellar now. Hopefully we can see the potatoes before they shut everything off. It's about 9 o'clock. They usually quit about 10, so they should be going for a little bit longer. But it does take me about 20 minutes to get back because this thing doesn't drive very fast. So let's head back to the cellar, see what they got. Just like that, we're back. Potatoes are looking good. A few vines. They're in a really, really weedy patch that's full of wild oats. But luckily, none of it's getting back here. I'll walk up to the even flow bin up there and kind of show you what they look like. But just remember how this looks. Hardly anything here, maybe a vine here or there. I actually haven't seen any, well, this field doesn't have any rocks in it. So there's no rocks. There's a few wild oats. But I haven't seen any dirt clods, haven't seen any rocks, and I haven't seen any rotten potatoes. So they're all looking really good. But now let's go up in front of the sorter table and show you how dirty they are going in. Yeah, they're pretty dirty. There's a lot of weeds, a lot of this, which I'm kind of surprised because we sprayed these potatoes and all this stuff should have died, but it did not. The potatoes died, but the weeds did not die. Wild oats. Wild oats are resistant to like so many different sprays. It's just hard to kill them. It's crazy. Roundup will kill them, but only after a couple times. Usually the first shot won't kill it. I think the next time we have a potato field with really bad wild oats, we'll have to spray acid on it to kill them. On a positive note, it's not really wet anymore, so the rollers are not mudding up like they were. They're pretty good, which when they are working how they're supposed to, look at all the crap that's falling out of there. losing the little tiny potatoes and a ton of that dirt. Heck, it's even spitting some of the vine and weeds out of there. So these scars do a really good job when they're clean and working correctly. This is quite a mound. It was bigger. They scooped that all off. These are mostly little tiny potatoes though. This is just trash. These aren't even going in with the eliminators because they're so small. They're like little golf ball size. Tiny, but I mean, they would still taste delicious. There's not as many of these little ones though. There is on this field, but most of the fields we did not get this many on. This is the trash that comes off of the sizer. So this is just going in the garbage. And it's just this first little section. Those four rollers, and there's a big smooth roller right there. This is where all the eliminators pop out, and there's a lot of them. A lot of little potatoes on this field, but we knew the yield was going to be like this. This thing does a good job though. I'm glad we got it. So one downside right now is most of the help that we had for harvest was for like picking dirt clods and stuff. They were all high school kids because Firth and Shelly, they both get 2 weeks out for potato harvest to go help with the harvest, to go help pick dirt clods and things. Most people don't come help anymore. A lot of people just use it as like a vacation time, but a lot of the kids that we had working used that 2-week break to come work on the farm. And now that break's over. This whole week they've been back at school. So we have had very little help actually picking dirt clods and stuff. We just have all of our pipe movers here, which is still, I think it's 8 guys. So we still have a lot of people here picking, and they're getting it really clean. But we did lose all of our help from the high school who were coming and help picking. So, but we're getting it clean. We should be done tomorrow. I imagine they're probably closer than they thought they were going to be, but I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Christopher when he gets done. All right, well, these are the final potatoes coming in for the end of the day. We are not going to get this cellar full. We probably only have maybe 50 acres, 60 acres left. It's not going to be full, but it is probably going to be somewhere in here. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Tomorrow is the final day of potato harvest. I really hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. I haven't been able to put them out every single day, but I've been filming every single day. So I have made a video every single day of harvest. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go down below, hit subscribe. There's also a link down there for the RMF Club if you want to get your name on a list to get some free stickers. And my name is Big T. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.